Hello everyone, welcome back. Unfortunately been a little sick lately, so haven't really been able to do a video. But I figured we'd come back strong with something we haven't had in a while. This is a Canadian IMP, Southwestern Chipotle chicken. It's a menu number 9. Now, again, it's been a while since I've had one of these or even had the opportunity to buy one. The prices have gone up and the kind of the stock has gone down. You can still find them, but they're certainly a bit expensive. But they do put together a pretty darn good ration there in Canada, our neighbors to the north. So again, I thought this would be a cool one to try out. So here is our Southwest Chipotle chicken. Some of the nutritional facts there. Ingredients, if you want to look at that. Now, Canadian IMPs do not come with heaters like a US ration would. So we're going to boil this package and, that will return a nice hot meal. But again, you can always eat it straight out of the package. It is ready to eat. Here's the dessert box, which is normally fruit. So again, yep, sliced apples. I like apples. Let's see. You could also heat these up too if you really wanted to. I'm gonna probably just eat them straight out of the package, but you could heat these up. It's been so long, they've changed the packaging on me too. They also have cooking instructions. Again, you don't really need that. Here is the hamburger bun, which is actually a really nice bun. Nice bread side, way different from US ration. We've got, oh really interesting, cranberry maple trail mix. Okay, seems pretty dense in there. Let's see, dried cranberries, maple almonds, raw cashews, pumpkin seeds, shelled sunflower seeds. So that seems like a pretty good mix there. Not a huge cranberry person, but I do love almonds. Let's see here, looks like we got a couple drink mixes. Ice, sports drink. So, nutritional facts there. Maybe this might be something similar to a Gatorade, maybe. Citric acid, sugar, dextrose, salt, malic acid, which is the sour tasty stuff. So interesting. We'll see how those work out. Ooh. Okay, so we got some raspberry jam. Kind of a similar packaging to what we're used to here in the States. Just raspberry jam, little Canadian maple leaf. Still stick matches in there, white tip. Again, if you're boiling, then there you go. We have some peanut butter. So have a little peanut butter sandwich with our bun. Ah, looky there. Big old Kit Kat. Now that is nice. I love a Kit Kat. It's a fancy one too. 100% sustainably sourced cocoa. That's a big one. I like that. Let's see here. Is this one of these all-in-ones? I think, yeah. So in the Canadian rations, we would get these Nescafe all-in-one sort of drink mixes, which are usually pretty decent. And you could do a little Kit Kat dip in there. We got some Tic Tacs, a little mini package, a little mint. And what is that? Compressed napkin? Don't eat it, just add water. So that's a napkin. Oh, now that's gonna be interesting. I haven't seen that. That must be new. All right, and we've got perfect little Tabasco sauce, which is interesting. They give you a compressed napkin, but they give you this giant beach towel of a napkin just in the package. I almost kind of just want to leave that napkin alone, but because this one is actually quite adequate. It's very nice. Maybe this is more like your toilet paper and this is your napkin, or this is your toilet paper and this, I don't know. And a spork. Nice sturdy spork. Now Canadian IMPs, I still have a couple of them. Used to come with the big long handled white spoons with kind of a dainty little spoon in there. But looks like we have a spork and very sturdy. Actually feels a little bit more sturdy than a US MRE spoon, and a bit longer too, so that's good. And then finally, a hot beverage or beverage bag if you want to use that. Also here, if you haven't seen these are foil lined. So I've seen, I think G. Schultz did like a water test. Now water will get through this, but it seems to be reasonably sturdy. It's just I wouldn't necessarily trust it underwater. So, but yeah, foil lined and reasonably well protected little brown bag lunch. So we've got a couple of things here. Good looking menu so far. I'm gonna go ahead and heat my main, and then we'll get all the stuff on the tray and start eating. So see you in a few. Well, we got an absolutely packed tray, don't we? Got our main, just chilling off in the water it was boiling in for the moment. We'll start going around the rosy and start getting everything laid out. Here are our apples. They smell nice. They are very translucent. Look at those. Those are translucent apples. Very fascinating. Let's see if on the box. Yeah, I mean, not really anything out of the ordinary there. Ingredients wise, just very, very pale and see-through. Interesting. Get our cranberry maple trail mix. Now, obviously, this is a lot of food for one sitting. If I were to use this from like a backpacking standpoint, that smells nice. A bit stuck together, no problem. But if I were out on the trail with this, I see a lot of really nice ways that this would be segmented out. Yeah, I could eat this trail mix on the initial walk, maybe have the Kit Kat of, as a boost if I wanted it. Maybe stop and have a, peanut butter and jam sandwich. And then, sit down at the end of the day and have my main and apples or something like that. So definitely something you section out. This is a lot of food to just eat in one setting. So our hamburger bun is a little flat, but that's not a huge deal because it actually looks like bread. As opposed to like our wheat snack bread that we would see in a US MRE. This actually has the smell and the taste of a little bit more real product if we're looking at it from a bread standpoint. I like to knead the peanut butter just a wee bit before I get in there. And we'll make a little PB&J sandwich. And that peanut butter looks very nice. Nice and creamy. Proper color. So, very good. And a raspberry jam I'll put on the other half there. And we'll eat them separately and then in combination. Let's see how this comes out here. That looks very nice as well. Very good color. Smells good too. One of the things I always used to find was the Canadian jams were didn't seem to me, as sugary as the American jellies and jams, but that could just be placebo or could just be a misnomer. And there we have our Kit Kat. Has a little perforation there in the middle. Chocolate looks good. Sometimes if these are sitting for a little while, chocolate will get a little bit of a film. Still edible, but doesn't look very good, and sometimes can affect the taste just a bit. So I'm just off to the side here, getting our main, and we'll get this on the tray. Very hot. Very hot. It's obviously in boiling water, so a bit warmer than what we would typically have. And that smells good coming out of the package. Smells very good. You certainly get that hint of Chipotle. Okay, well, because this is nice and hot and we don't always get that from flameless ration heaters, I'm just going to dive straight into our main. Sometimes we're dessert people first, aren't we? Let's try this out. That's so hot. Maybe I might have wanted to have it set for a bit. So, you know, got a good bit of chicken there. Very subtle flavor. Very, very subtle the flavor. You get beans and tomatoes, chicken. That Chipotle actually gets lost a bit here. It's not as prevalent in the actual meal, but you get the peppers and the onions and it's actually quite nice. It's kind of like just a Mexican chicken stew. That's quite good actually. Not overly salty, but we'll probably add a little bit of that Tabasco here towards the end. Let's get one of our apples. Look at that. Looks like a pear. It's like we've transformed an apple into a pear. Strange the consistency. It's actually, I mean, it's good, but it's, I don't know how to best to describe it. It's got just like a strange kind of outer film. See how many times I can bop the camera today, I guess. It's not super crazy crispy, but it's interestingly preserved. It's not bad. It tastes very fresh. It doesn't have a ton of tartness. But it does taste like, you know, from a textural feel, a lot like you know, kind of like a fresh cut apple that you waterlogged. You know, I don't know if I'm explaining that very well, but they're unique. This is not anything you would see in a fruit cocktail. I'll tell you that much. It's very different, and I don't know if I like it, or I don't hate it. Just odd. Let's try a handful of mix. It's a good mix. That's quite nice, actually. Again, typically, I'm not a cranberry person, but that's very subtle. It is reasonably sweet, but it, you know, fresh flavor. Pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds provide a nice extra crunch. That's a great mix. It's a great mix. Definitely. That's great. That's actually really great. Let's try a little bit of our peanut butter bread first. A bit dry, the bread. Definitely dry. Peanut butter is a bit dry, but the peanut butter is way more peanutty. So like American peanut butter in rations tends to be a bit, you know, kind of, it's less like peanut and more like, you know, fat. This tastes like straight, like what you would actually want peanut butter to taste like. So very, very much focused on the peanut. Not a ton of sugar, which I enjoy. I love Canadian peanut butter. I think I like it better than American peanut butter. A little bit of our raspberry jam, which is spot on. That's very nice. One of the complaints I had recently was some apple jelly that tasted of nothing but sugar and gelatin. And I was like, well, where's the apple? That tastes exactly of raspberry. It's very good. It's very good. That I would be super duper happy with. You know, just have it on a cracker or a biscuit or, I don't know, a scone. Let's try a bit of this Kit Kat. Let's see if we can actually get a break. It breaks really well. You get the nice layers and everything. Very good. That is a completely different taste of a Kit Kat. I almost thought it was off, but then I start getting it around all the old taste buds, and there's a very nice creamy milk chocolate, nice crunch of the wafer. It is much better chocolate than what you would get in a standard Kit Kat here in the States. I've said this a lot. Guess we might, I forgot to make up our drink while I'm yakking here about the chocolate. Might as well make that up too. But I've said this before, international chocolate tastes so much better than American chocolate. And wow, that's got an interesting smell to it. But it's not even really a debate, and I won't debate people on that. American chocolate just isn't as good. I don't want to eat just a Hershey bar. And if I do, it better have almonds in it. I don't know how exactly much water, and I don't really care. We're just going to do what I want to do. That mix is okay. Still have a little bit of residual in there. Does have sort of that Gatorade blue color to it. But anyway, the Kit Kat, fantastic, great chocolate. But for the American palate, typical American palate, I think you'll be a little surprised at first, but just keep eating. And you'll really enjoy that quite a bit. All right, let's take a little bit of our drink here. So we did have some of that, you know, a bit of dryness there. That's good. Kind of reminds you of what the sports drink industry says is blue raspberry. So I could be wrong on that, but it's definitely its own taste, but it's very good, nice and refreshing. And there's two of them, which is always very cool. I'm just gonna dump this Tabasco in here because I do want the kick. I do want the kick. I think I was thinking there might be a little bit more smoky Chipotle in here, and it wound up being a little benign, so we'll get that Tabasco in here, and now it's cooled down a little bit as well. I can actually pop a proper bite in my mouth. There we go. Yeah, I needed that hit. Needed that little hit of that Tabasco just to give it a little bit of extra kick. Pull this bread in here. Because this just reminds me of a stew, so stews I like to throw a little bread in there. Yeah, that's nice. I like that a lot. Well, there we go, folks. It's been a long time, hasn't it, since we've seen a Canadian IMP. Southwestern Chipotle chicken. Definitely nice little chicken stew. Just get a little bit of a pep of that Tabasco and away you go. Interesting apples. Not 100% sure about those yet. Let's just try another one. We have the time. You could fast forward to the end, right? They just, weird consistency. Yeah. I mean, it really is like you sliced an apple and then just waterlogged it. So it's still got a little bit of crunch, a little bit of crispiness, but you know, it's a little mushy in the middle. But I will say this, it does have a true flavor of apple, as opposed to sometimes what you'll get in like fruit cocktail or whatever, which is very, very mushy, artificial, and high fructose corn syrup. But really, really nice peanut butter and jelly, great trail mix, excellent taste of chocolate that you wouldn't get in the United States typically. Overall, a great meal. I'm glad to have had another IMP. Hopefully I can get my hands on a few more of these as time goes by, but they are a little tricky, a little expensive, but they are still out there here and there. So anyway, folks, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, leave me a comment down below. And for those of you who haven't subscribed yet, hit that old subscription button. Try and put one out, you know, a video or two a week. And, you know, again, just hope you enjoy them. So we will catch you down the road. See ya.